Hello, welcome to my humble boudoir. Hello, a new review here, and one that's up to date, which is something a bit new. So today I'm talking about the Refuse gig that I went to in Glasgow on Tuesday the 22nd of March at Garage, a nightclub chain which I used to be part of. Except I worked for 3 shifts and my contract was terminated wrongfully. But hey, I'm not bitter. So here we go. This day was quite important for a couple of reasons, but the main reason which most people will probably identify, you're probably wondering what's the significance of the 22nd of March. This was the day where Brussels Airport and the Brussels metro system was attacked. And as I was going to a very socialist punk concert, I imagined that the subject of it would be brought up. Obviously, it was an absolutely hideous display, and in Glasgow itself, a few days afterwards, a Muslim man was killed by another Muslim because he wished his Christian customers, which frequented his corner shop, a happy Easter, and he was killed for betraying Islam, for accepting other faiths. Religious fundamentalism is just... it's the new Nazism. It's a fucking disgrace, and... I don't really want to talk about this anymore. So let's move on to the concert. I got to the venue and the support act was Anna von Hauswolf. I wasn't sure what sort of music this would be because it's Refused, who are ostensibly a post-hardcore group. So I assumed that it would just be, you know, a hardcore punk act. But no. They all came on. The keyboard player was wearing crutches. And then I started playing, and I was really taken aback because I didn't expect to hear anything like that. I mean, it was sort of a bit post-rocky, but I don't know, it's very experimental and intriguing. It had a very atmospheric build-up, which just became monolithic. And honestly, they're one of, if not the best support act I think I've ever seen live. Yeah, they were just incredible. But the vocalist, who was the namesake of the group, I assume that's the name of the group, and not her with additional musicians, a la Bon Jovi or the Jimi Hendrix Experience, for example. She was absolutely enchanting. And she sounded so ominous and angelic at times, but also just completely unhinged, like a banshee. The final track was just immeasurably intense, and it lasted for what seemed like 15 minutes. I'll definitely go out to get one of their records because just wow, they were incredible. I'd highly recommend checking them out. If you get a chance to see Anna von Hauswolf live, do it, because I know I sound like I'm repeating myself. I say this about every single person I see. Oh, they're amazing. They walk on water. But seriously, I was incredibly impressed by this performance. So check them out. So then Refused came on, and they opened up with Elektra off their new album. Great song. I was kind of hoping that they would be playing Francafrique / Francafrique. That's for my girlfriend because she speaks French. She absolutely detests the fact that it's incorrectly pronounced in the song when it should be Francafrique rather than Francafrique. But I was really hoping that they played it because it's my favourite track off their new album and one of my favourite tracks of theirs overall. I know a lot of people don't like it because when their new album was announced and Elektra was the first song that came off it, I was a bit lukewarm about it. I didn't really know what to think. And then Francafrique came out, and immediately, as soon as that guitar riff came in, I thought, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And then I read the comments on YouTube, and there was such vitriol over the track saying, oh, this is terrible, they've completely gone in the wrong direction. I mean, this is a group who created an album which was praised for its experimentation. Are you seriously going to expect that they're just going to continue doing the same thing over and over and over again? No, they're going to continue to explore new styles. They're a hardcore group who put on fucking electronic music and jazz and folk music on their landmark album, The Shape of Punk to Come, which is obviously a reference to Ornette Coleman's The Shape of Jazz to Come. Yeah, I mean, these kind of people just... I don't have time for them, really. It's just exasperating hearing them spout their waffle. So then after Elektra, they played The Shape of Punk to Come, the title track off their landmark album. It sounded great, and Dennis Litz... I'm just going to call him Dennis because I'm really not entirely certain how his surname is pronounced. He was moving about on stage in this incredible, rigorous fashion, and he was also swinging his mic in this kind of great rock and roll standard way. There was one point in the song where he completely fucked it up. He was swinging it, and then he missed it, and it landed on the floor. And then he missed, like, several lines into the song, because he was like, oh, shit. Oh, yeah. So, sadly, I didn't catch that on camera, because that would have been pretty funny, but I wasn't running the camera at that point. And then they went straight into Refused Party Programme, which I didn't really think that they would play, because it's such a short song, but, hey, you know, I love it, so I don't really have any quibbles about that. And then, as expected, I knew it had to happen.
It is sad to wake up in the morning and be like, another terrorist attack in Brussels. You all saw that, right? Yeah. And it's a complete bummer. We played in Paris like a week after the Bataclan. We played the Bataclan. This is sort of our world. You know, you don't want to deal with that. And we have a lot of thoughts and ideas about this. We have a lot of perspectives, a lot of analysis. None that really suits a rock show. You know what I mean? It's like, we are the political band, we talk about politics, but then a situation like this, it's way too complex to be like, I have a solution, because there's no fucking easy solution to this, right? There's not. But if we educate ourselves, and we try to see why this is happening, why the world is in a war right now, we need to figure that out. Why Europe is the target. If we figure this shit out, if we open our minds and open our hearts, maybe we can make things a little bit better, right?
And then they went into Rather Be Dead. Rather be dead than alive under your oppression! Ooh, ooh. Then to Dawkins Christ. Then the Deadly River! And then at some point in the midst of the song, they started playing this. Then 366, which I feel kind of rips off The Shape of Punk to Come, the title track off their album, slightly with that opening guitar riff. I'm not too big of a fan of that song. I mean, I think it has moments, but yeah. And then they went to Coup d'etat off their Songs to Fan the Flame of Discontent album. And then they teased everyone with the radio static you hear right before Liberation Frequency comes on the Shape of Punk to Come album. And everyone was just itching with anticipation. And then it stopped. And then it kind of started again, and we thought, oh, come on, play the fucking song! And then they did. So, it was all good. And then that was swiftly followed by Fought Is Blood, which is my least favourite track off their new album, so I was kind of disappointed. I think it has good bits in it, but the majority of it is it talks about interesting issues, but ultimately a good portion of it is just very drab. Then he started talking to the audience, which he did quite a few times in between songs.
Our band, a long time ago, we were a punk band and we talked about punk things, and it taught us about politics, it taught us about the world. And a lot of people around us, they thought we were silly and naive and fucking idiots. They were laughing at us because we were talking about politics. They were laughing at us.
They fucking suck!
And those people suck, yeah. You know also where those people are today?
OPEC! Government!
Who the fuck knows where those people are today? That band won a Grammy in 1995. Who the fuck cares? Where are you now? I don't know.
Talking about punk music and how it's established his political views and its importance on his life.
I was going to say, for me, for these clowns, music is much more than just, a soundtrack to your fucking teenage years, or it's more than some, Spotify playlist. Music is fucking life and death. It means everything. Everything I learn from music, basically everything I learn from music. So my knowledge spectrum is very slim. And when the apocalypse comes, I am useless. I want to thank you for coming out, and it means a lot to us, because we are still that band that think about politics and talk about politics, and trying to look back at 20 years, looking back at 2016 and being like, what were you doing in 2016? I was watching Big Brother, or I was trying to fucking do something about the shitstorm of the world that we got going on. It's up to us to choose what part of that equation we want to be. It's like the old MC5, you want to be part of the problem, part of the solution. Yes. We're trying to be part of the... Wait. Solution? Yes, solution. Sorry, English is not my first language.
Then one of my favourites. They played Refuse the Fucking Dead. Ugh! Man, Dennis's dance moves were just entertaining as hell. Really, like... Then they played Servants of Death. Which was quickly followed by Life Support Addiction. And then they ended on Worms of the Senses. Faculties of the Skull. And then, the waiting game. We were waiting for an encore, and I knew a few things for certain. They'd be playing Summer Holidays versus Punkroutine, New Noise, and Frank a Freak, because they hadn't played it yet. And I was almost certain that they would be playing it if they hadn't played it yet, because, I mean, it would be a good way to end the concert, I think. So then they came on, and Dennis started talking about the process of being in a band and what that brings to you as a person. He was talking about the last day they were in Glasgow and went to Nice and Sleazy.
Was it a Nice and Sleazy boy? It says quite a lot about him. I don't know.
Across the road.
Yeah, it is across the road, and you will meet at least some of us later. But it's one of those things when you start your band, usually your ambitions are just to play music. Your ambitions is just to hang out with your friends, create shit. If you have something to say, maybe have something to say. And then when you get to travel the world and you get to play the Nice and Sleazy, easy place, and then years later, here we are. So thank you. To be honest with you, do you know after the Nice and Sleazy show, you know what we did? Nothing. For a very long time. Now we're here.
And in that moment, I knew exactly what was coming next. And as predicted, Summer Holidays and Punkroutine! Again, flawless dancing. Just, hell yeah. They then started talking about the support act.
If you were lucky, you were here early and then you saw Annabelle Household play. Fucking huge hand. Come on. Music is supposed to be... We're so excited. Music's supposed to be adventurous. No compromise, and that's exactly what she's doing in her band, so fucking fantastic. We're gonna play a couple more shows for now. I'm so fucking stoked. Support them when you leave, buy a t-shirt or say hi, they're amazing.
And I wholly agree with everything that he said. I mean, they're just an exceptional group, I think. Then, can't be a punk show without talking about feminism. It just can't happen.
Are you born? No! You will be after this one. No, but seriously, we're all here for a reason. We're all here because we're part of some sort of different culture or something different. I don't know what you said, but I totally agree. We're here, we're part of this punk rock alternative sort of community, and we still need to talk about gender. We still need to talk about feminism. We still need to talk about the patriarchal system, right? Still. We think we're so fucking evil, we're so good, but we're not. So, and here's the thing. If we want to live in a world where we're equal, if we want to live in a world where we can be on the same level, respect each other, we, the fucking guys, we need to get our shit together. We cannot be part of perpetuating a culture that advocates rape or murder. We need to get our shit together. Because women out there, you know this shit. You feel this shit every day. So guys, men, dudes, let's fucking help out and destroy the patriarchal system once and for all since we learned that way. And then fucking destroy the cock within yourself. Destroy the fucking cock within yourself. And then while we're on the roll, destroy capitalism. Thank you so much.
And then they played New Noise. And in typical Scots fashion,
Here we fucking go! Here we fucking go!
oh my god, when that beat kicked in, after that build-up of intensity, everyone went fucking berserk, and it was absolutely sublime to watch. Then I was thinking, okay, so they're going to be playing Frank and Freak next. It is my favourite track on the album, which, as I said before, isn't really a popular opinion because a lot of people hate it. But I love everything about that track. Just the production, the songwriting, the lyrics are really on point. It's just so good. But then they played Tannhäuser, Derivè. And I was thinking, well, I do love this, but they've got to be saving Frank and Freak for last, surely. But no. That was it. Considering they've been playing it for every live show that I've seen them do on YouTube, I assume they'll be playing it. I don't know, maybe they assumed that it would get a hostile reception. Oh well. So to summarise, I think this is one of the best concerts I've been to. It was really fun, and Dennis had a wonderful engagement with the crowd, as did every other member of the group, throwing picks and drumsticks into the audience, one of which because it broke. So yeah, 2 thumbs up from me. This was my first real concert this year, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be in my top 10 concerts of the year, possibly. Not that I'm going to do a list like that, God's sake, that's really nerdy. So anyway, bye, thanks for watching. Skål, because we refused to Swedish, so I said cheers in Swedish, but you got that, so